Hello, my name is John H. Egan, and welcome to my book, The Enlightenment, What God Told Me After 1 Million Prayers, a Message for Everyone. The Foreword. Some of the most brilliant minds ever have said, know thyself. In order to know thyself, one must be still and listen to their inner voice. Listen to your heart. It's the only voice that will set you free. Knowing thyself brings a happy life full of contentment. Knowing thyself means knowing what brings you peace. Knowing thyself means not trying to be someone that you're not. Knowing thyself means knowing the truth about you. It's only by knowing thyself that one can live a true and moral life. To truly know thyself, one must look deep to determine if he is making excuses for his actions and rationalizing why he lives the way he does. You are what you do. Look at what you do. Analyze what you do. Then analyze what you believe about yourself. You may very well find an entirely different person. Knowing oneself means knowing the power of your capabilities and the restrictions of your limitations. We all have control over certain aspects of life. The Lord didn't give one person all the talents, nor did He make any one person devoid of all talents. He spread all the talents out among everyone. He gave each one of us enough talents to use and achieve what we must in this life. The Lord wants you to discover what talents you have and utilize them by sharing yours with everyone. One way of sharing your talents is to figure out which gifts you have and use them so that others will benefit from them. I know myself, and I know what talents the Lord has given me. I know I can produce a book and put it out there for everyone to benefit from. I said I can produce a book. I didn't say my talents was being the greatest writer there ever was. When I spoke to the Lord, I told Him that I could feasibly produce a book for Him by utilizing the talents He gave me. I am not like Paul or any of the great saints who have written on His behalf. But if He wanted to use the talents He gave me for a book that might save souls, then He should use me as He wills. This book that you're about to read is the best of my talents. If this book is great, it's only because the Lord made it great. If it falls into the right hands and saves souls, it's only because the Lord made it fall into the right hands. My talent is simply the ability to get things done from beginning to end. That's my talent. Completing a task and getting it out there, no matter how hard it is or how long it takes. If this book is considered amazing for its content, it's only because of what the Lord has showed me. Yes, the enlightenments that this book contains are supernatural in nature. They came directly from the Almighty One, and hopefully I have conveyed it properly. This book contains the supernatural enlightenments I received in my life. It will also give the reader a chance to come to know Jesus more fully. Long before I wrote this book, I had always wanted to paint a great oil painting of the crucifixion scene. I know myself, drawing and painting is basically my forte and is probably what I do best. I've always had a natural talent for it. I thought that someday, when I had time, I would put together a grand project depicting Jesus on the cross during His passion. I also know how to write, but had never really considered writing a book of this nature. After I received my enlightenment, I wasn't sure what to do about it. It took me many months to sort out what happened to me on that fateful night when I received it. I didn't say anything to my wife or family about it. I wasn't sure if I was even supposed to mention it to them or to anyone else for that matter. I felt that my enlightenment must be considered something private between the Almighty One and me. But if it is private, then how would anyone else benefit from it? Everything the Almighty One has to say should be beneficial to everyone, no matter how private I thought it was. Finally, after much consideration, I decided to explain this supernatural enlightenment I had to my wife. After hearing about my enlightenment in its entirety, my wife claimed that she knew and understood God better through my illumination. I wanted others to share in that experience. I finally decided that the messages I received during my enlightenment was something I must make known to everyone. At this point, I began to feel the call to write about the enlightenment I had and share its messages with others. I am a Roman Catholic, and one day when I was in church and about to receive communion, I started talking to Jesus. I said, Jesus, I am not a great writer like some of the ones in your service, but if you want, you can use my talents to bring souls to you. You know, I always wanted to depict your crucifixion in oils, but maybe I can accomplish this better with the stroke of a pen rather than a stroke of a brush. If I take on this project, I'm going to need much inspiration from you. If it's souls you want, then this is your chance to use the talent you gave me. Our job as true Christians is to work for Jesus while we're here, not just to give him lip service. Jesus created an enormous ripple on earth 2,000 years ago. Its undulation has spread across the world, nation after nation. As the waves of the ripple go out in every direction, they touch every man. Every time the rippling wave of Jesus touches us, we in turn are supposed to create our own ripple that touches others, who will in turn touch many more. The rippling effect of Jesus' love transcends time. I got caught in one of the soft undulating folds of that ripple. Now it is my turn to send the ripple out until, eventually, everyone in the world gets touched by the rolling wave. There are several unusual things that happened to me in my life. I believe these events happened for a reason, so that this book would be written someday. Whether or not people will believe these events is something only time will tell. I told Jesus that I would reveal my enlightenment in its entirety in this book. I asked him if he thought anyone would actually believe the accounts of what happened during this enlightenment. As I was explaining my thoughts to Jesus during the consecration of the host at yet another Mass, a word was spoken to me. It interrupted my whining and said, "Write with authority." That inspiration gave me the strength and grace to boldly go forth. During the time it took to write this book, I asked the Lord for countless inspirations. He never refused me on this matter. If this book fails, it's because of my inadequacies. If it succeeds, it's because of the Lord's will. I am nothing but the messenger of a story that must be told. As a people in today's society, so many of us have lost our way. Sometimes it takes the life of just one person to put it back into perspective. It is so easy to be pulled away from what is right in this world. There are so many temptations out there that blur the lines of what is good and what is evil. We are so frail and weak when it comes to doing what is hard and what's right. Everywhere you look, there is some sort of enticement beckoning you away from the primary reason you were put here. I am not an extraordinary person with extraordinary qualities, but I managed to prompt an extraordinary event that I want you to benefit from. I'd like you to stop for a moment and take a good look at your life as it is now. There comes a time in everyone's life when they must listen to that inner voice. The voice that comes from the heart is the tiny voice that originates from the soul. This book was made to help you look very directly at yourself and find those essential qualities instilled by your Creator. Those moral qualities and abilities inspired by your Creator and put there to make you great. It is when one truly examines those qualities of the spiritual self and the pure heart that one finds the direction one must take to achieve happiness. How much time do you believe the Creator is going to give you to understand Him and the purpose of your life? We give our own children only 18 years to understand all that we try to impart to them. Maybe, just maybe, you will see a new dimension of your life and take a new direction. Find your true self, and you will find your true happiness. Stop. Become still. Let the turbulences of life settle, and open your mind to your true calling.